Hi, today I'm going to show you how to use this research organizer. This organizer can be very helpful in organizing information I get from my database research all in one place. To start, I'm going to go to the DPHS library website. I can get there through the Desert Pines High School Desert Pines High School website, and under Students, I see here the library. Now, I've already opened up Opposing Viewpoints, but in order to get there, you can go here under Databases. And if you are off of campus, you will need an access code, which you can find here. But if you're on campus, you can simply click on this button and it will take you right there. Since I've already opened it up, I'm going to go right over here. And once I'm here, I can either search for a topic if I've already decided on a topic, or if I want, I can browse issues if I'm searching for something that I might want to write about. So I'm just looking around and I see that here plastic waste might be an issue that I'd be interested in. This section here is going to give you just a short overview, and you can read more by clicking on that. I'm going to come back here and I'm going to look down at the options I have for my research. So you can see here I have different kinds of resources available to me. I have some academic journals, I have some viewpoint articles, I have some newspaper articles. So really a lot of different ways I can look at this information. I'm going to choose a viewpoint article. All right. So I see the good news about plastic waste. That sounds interesting because usually we don't have good news about plastic waste. Now, I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And once I've given it a quick read, or maybe even a full read because this is a short article, and I've decided that I would like to use this in this article, I'm going to go ahead and save it. And I'm going to do that in two different ways. First way is I'm just going to simply click on this and save it to my Google Drive. That will save it to my drive and it will save all the information. But I also am going to want to save it in my organizer, because then I have all of my articles and information from those articles all saved in one place that I can get to very easily and I can see at a glance. So I'm going to go ahead and save this information to my research organizer. I'm going to skip over how to use this top table for now and show you how to save your sources. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to copy the article's title and put it into the top part of my table here. Now you see it says source title with link. Now what I want to do is kind of a neat little trick. I'm going to want to put a link there that's attached right to my title. And so to do that, I'm going to highlight the title. And then I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to get this link. Once I've copied this link, I can come over here, click on this Insert Link button, and then put it right in there so that now when I'm looking at my organizer, I don't have to go back and try to find this article. I don't even have to go to my drive if I don't want to. It's good to back it up in your drive, but having this link here allows me to go right back to the database and get right to the article again. So that's really nifty. Coming back to my organizer, I see that the next thing I want is the author. The author is Deidre McKay, so I'm just going to copy her name and put it in there. That is going to be useful for me to have later. I also want my MLA citation. So the way that I'm going to get that is to come up here and click on Cite. All databases will have this option. It might appear at different places. Sometimes they'll have this menu here on the left side. It's usually somewhere on the top left. So sometimes it's going horizontally, vertically, and sometimes it's going horizontally. But either way, it's going to be somewhere around here almost always. So once I click on Cite, it's going to give me some options. For this assignment, we're using MLA. And so here I have my MLA 9th edition, which is our latest edition. I click on Select and that highlights everything. Now I still need to copy it. So I'm going to copy it. I'm going to come back over to my organizer. And now I want to put the MLA citation in here. Now you might have noticed earlier when I was pasting things in, I pasted them in by clicking on Paste Without Formatting. That means that the formatting from the original would not be in what I pasted. However, with the MLA citation, I want to paste it so that it has this formatting. And the main reason I want to do that is because I need to keep anything italicized as italicized text, because that italicized text is actually important. But just because I'm persnickety, I want to change it up to match the rest of my text. So I'm going to come over here to Times New Roman, just because it will bother me having it look different. So I can change it to Times New Roman 12 point to match the rest of my text, but I want to make sure that I am saving those italicized words as italicized. Now, once I have read this article, I'm going to want to put a summary in my own words, and I'm going to do that for a couple reasons. One is putting it in my own words kind of allows me to process what's in the article a little bit better, and it also will be useful when I'm going to write my paper because I've already kind of incorporated my own thoughts in there. So I'm not going to take the time to do that now, but I would just, take a little bit of time and maybe write a couple sentences about what I saw in that article, and that's going to be very helpful for me in the future. Now here's where I'm going to save my quotes, and I can do that just simply by finding a useful, interesting quote. Let's say that I just found this quote useful and interesting. I can copy it. I can also highlight it in there, and that will save if I'm signed in. But in order to have it all in one place, I also want to copy it and paste it into this box that says quote here. Okay, so where it says page number or paragraph number, that's going to be useful if there is already a page or paragraph number on my original source. Most of your website sources and articles that are, just published on the web are not going to have page numbers or paragraph numbers. And MLA only wants you to include paragraph numbers if they are in the original source, which this is not, so I can skip that if I want. If I wanted to, if it was helpful for me to put a paragraph number just to locate that quote later, I might do that. However, I'm certainly not going to do that if it's a very lengthy article because I don't want to sit there and count. So that's completely optional. Over here, you want to put some commentary. What struck you as interesting in order to put down that quote? I won't take the time to do that now because of the recording. However, you should take the time to put down that commentary when it's still fresh in your mind. That's going to be very, very useful when it comes to writing your paper, because once you have the quote and you have the commentary, you have like the building blocks of your paper. Now let's come over to this category identifier. This is where we're going to go back up to our categories up here. So when I'm researching a topic, usually I'm going to find different categories related to that topic. And those later will become like my paragraphs, or maybe a couple paragraphs. So for example, if I were researching plastic waste, I might have a category that is related to oceans, and I might have a category related to landfills. And I can think of these categories ahead of time, or I can post them in there as I find them. Either way is totally fine. Also, if I need extra rows, because I have more than 2 categories, I can just simply do a right click and insert another row if I want to. So there we go. All right, so coming back down here, let's pretend that this quote was about oceans. Rather than writing down oceans, I'm going to just go ahead and put an A there. And then if I find information, I can just put a B there if it's information about landfills, because usually my source will have information that fits in more than one category, and I might find information in my category A in another source. So I'm going to want to be able to quickly identify those, and that's a lot easier if I just simply use a letter as an identifier. And then lastly, here I would put my topic. Before I start, I would want to put a little bit of what I know about this topic here and what my opinion is prior to the research. When you have done all your research, you're going to come down here to the bottom, and this is where you're going to write a little bit about what you've learned and what your opinion is now that you've done your research, and you're going to use both of your sources with each one, at least one quote from each source. And this is going to be the starter for the opinion editorial that you'll be writing later. I know that this was rather lengthy, however, I do hope it was useful, and happy writing.